So we are, when you're ready to rock and roll, I mean...
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Alrighty, 3, 2, and 1.
All right, so this is Paul Argueta with my cohort.
Yeah, Jonathan Williams here at REH. I figured I want to say welcome to the contract. It's interesting. We're in a pretty good time here, especially for sports, real estate. It's a big market, but Paul, I'll go ahead and leave the floor to you again. It's the date today is Monday the 2nd. I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
Look, everybody's talking about LeBron. Let's be real here. We're all excited about it in Los Angeles. We might as well, talk about the elephant in the room. So I'm excited about him coming to play out here. I think we're going to have a really, really, really exciting season. I still think that they're going to have to build some type of a backcourt for him, though. I think he's going to have to. We need some more players.
Yeah,
the puzzle's not complete yet.
No, I agree. Honestly, I think really from your to piggyback on your point, I really wanted to know, is this really the best decision for him? As you know, he's got this production company out here. It's interesting. I learned something on Twitter today. He actually has all the rights to create a documentary this season on the entire free agency period. So it's really smart to see how some of these guys get into their negotiations.
Exciting,
so, another thing is people are comparing the move to almost he's trying to mimic Kobe. I mean, he wants that Oscar role. I mean, you saw his success with Trainwreck. It only just opens the door for more dominance, I think, in sports, and not just sports, in entertainment in general.
Right. So, and you take a look at all the stars that welcomed him. On social media, man. I mean, Hollywood loves LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron James. So they love LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, his trade wasn't the only big one.
Mm-hmm.
Over the weekend, we had some big trades. DeAndre Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which leads me to our next topic of conversation. What's he going to do with those homes in Malibu?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, he's got assets across the country. He's had this property in Malibu for a while. I know he had it listed and sold, I believe, and he purchased a new property, which is strange considering he was going to end. Yeah, and as you know, these decisions are made months prior.
Right.
There's a lot of preparation that goes involved. So the question is, what is he going to do? I say he keeps his assets. It's real estate's always a good investment for athletes. Look at LeBron. LeBron has 2 properties here now, not just one. So,
but I think it's a little different in the fact that LeBron was always planning to have LA as his home. I'm not sure if DeAndre ever really called LA his home.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a place to work, and he loves living here. But I don't think that LA is his home. And I think ultimately we're going to see those properties on the market, which means that you and I have to do our job, and we got to go out there and we got to get a hold of who we need to get a hold of and offer our services 100%.
Most definitely.
I think it's interesting that he ended up at Dallas, considering what happened with him and Mark Cuban.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the way those text messages played out the very first time they were trying to do the trade. I'm not sure how he ended up going back there a second time.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
What do you know about that?
Yeah, so obviously, if you guys aren't aware, DeAndre Jordan, about 2 years ago, I think now, verbally committed to the Mavericks, and it was this big thing. He was going to go. Everything was set, and he ended up backing out of the deal last minute. I believe it was Chris Paul who signed an extension. It was either Chris Paul or Blake Griffin. One of the players stayed, and he ended up breaking his verbal agreement. As you know, obviously in real estate and any contractual business, verbal agreements aren't set in stone until you put that ink on paper.
Hand.
Yeah.
It's get the paperwork signed.
So more or less, I really think that the fact that Dallas was willing, and I think it's a testament to ownership. I mean, Mark Cuban, in the end of the day, there's a reason why Dallas has been, they may be on the bottom end of the league right now, but they have promoted winning ways. They won a title in the last 10 years. It just goes to show that you need to be open.
I think it may also be a sign of the fact that Dirk's ship is slowly starting to sail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dirk plays the big man and the 4 and 5 position. Right?
Yes.
He plays them both. So bringing DeAndre in, I think, is also a sign that he's close to retirement, man. I think he's. I don't know. What do you think? I think maybe 3 years, 4 years, maybe.
Honestly,
I might be generous.
No, I get you. I think he's always wanted to retire a Maverick. I don't think they. So he actually just re-signed for a year. So more or less, the question is this really his current call?
It's starting to sound like Tim Duncan all over again.
Yeah, it is. But Tim Duncan was at a pretty high level. I think. By the end of his career.
Post, like, he was getting closer.
Still, he gets you 15 points a game. I think Dirk's probably along that lines, but a lot of Dirk's playmaking ability is kind of is a little bit out the window now. I mean, it's past his prime. He used to get those shots on those fadeaways. He could still get that all day, but getting to the basket was never really his forte.
Right.
So, I think that he really does want to finish his career now in Dallas. Don't be surprised if that jersey goes into the rafters. But they have good young talent. They just got the number 3 overall pick in Luka Doncic. If you guys aren't familiar, Luka Doncic has been the best player in Europe for the last 3 years. He's been playing with grown men. So, he's been there since he was 17. So he's been playing in Barcelona in the Spanish League. The Spanish League is considered one of the best leagues, outside of the United States. So, really, I think it's more of passing the torch, educating him.
Look at the Gasol brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Doncic and Dirk have similar games. Doncic is a better passer. He's only 6'8", but he's a big guy who can play the perimeter, who can score, rebound. He's a facilitator, and I think having Dirk there that extra year will only pay more dividends. We're not even mentioning Dennis Smith Jr., who was, I believe, the 7th pick last year. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. So. But I think Dallas has a good upside. So we'll see what happens.
Either way, it's sad to see DJ leave.
Yes.
I always liked DJ. I liked his demeanor and his personality. Not that I had many one-on-one conversations with him, but But at the end of the day, it's definitely sad to see him go. I saw a picture over the weekend of Doc Rivers with the Clippers behind him and what they were like. 3 or 4 years ago. Did you see that image?
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, and it had him, it had Blake, it had CP3, DeAndre, his son. Who else were there?
There's Jamal Crawford was on that team. He was a big point. Did you mention JJ Redick?
No.
JJ Redick, who's now staying in Philly. So
then they showed the after. And none of them
were there.
Yeah,
and
it's all gone.
It goes to show how hard it is to be very good in the NBA for long. And that you have franchises like the Spurs. And again, a lot of it's dictated by money. I mean, being in a bigger market. You know what I mean? But it goes to show how hard it is to remain relevant in the NBA. It's a tough business. It's dog eat dog, much like this business, right? I mean, it's real estate can be a challenge. It can be tough, but I think that if you're willing and you're open to work, with others, I think it could pay dividends.
Absolutely,
down the line. So.
Yeah, and doing what we do, we've seen, we've had the opportunity to see firsthand just how fragile some of these, we can't say contracts, because some of them aren't necessarily contracts quite yet, right? Especially as we start to delve down the totem pole a little bit to some of the other athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know, is fragile the right word? I mean, would you say fragile?
No, I think I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's tough. Tough. So, what else has been going on this week?
Well, I mean, really, obviously you have the NBA, the NHL free agency just happened as well. They're kind of happen in tandem. It's just the problem is the NBA is so big.
Yeah.
It's easy to get small. The Kings actually just re-signed Drew Doughty to an 8-year extension.
Wow.
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years. Those hockey contracts are longer because the durability of hockey players surprisingly are pretty high.
Huh.
The average career length is a little bit. It's much higher than, let's say, like you would think, because it's a very physical sport.
Crazy.
Obviously, there's fighting.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But I mean, you're on skates, so you're not putting as much stress on your ankles, your feet. There's no jumping really involved. So really, you're gliding across the ice. So, he is. I believe he's 28 now.
What part of town is he from? Where's he at right now?
So all the Kings stayed down in Newport, Manhattan Beach. Okay. I believe he's still there as well. Tanner Pearson just signed.
That just happened over the weekend.
It just happened over the weekend. Yes, yes. Sometimes it gets easy.
We gotta get these handwritten letters out.
Yeah, seriously. So
we gotta send them something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Manhattan Beach, Newport is is frequented by the Kings. The Lakers, actually, a lot of them live down there as well. Kobe still lives there now.
Yeah.
So, it's just about putting together a marketing plan and really getting after them,
Okay.
So, the NHL has been pretty busy. Football is going to start to pick back up nowadays, especially now with free agency period. Once you get the first, 72 hours, things typically because the big free agents dictate the market.
Right, yeah.
So,
Well, I heard an interesting statistic today. I heard that NBA viewership is on the incline, and Major League Baseball and NFL is on the decline.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I'm not sure if that's true or not, though.
Well,
I mean, I guess it depends on who you're listening to, right?
Exactly, and I mean, still the NFL rules all. I saw a graphic the other day, and the NFL eclipses the NBA is the second largest revenue generator in the United States, but the overall wealth of the NFL is $13 billion annually.
Wow.
So, more or less, the NBA is catching up, but it's still got a long way to go. I think it has to do. I mean, really, there's about 45 minutes to an hour of game time when you watch an NFL game.
Right.
But the other 2 hours is commercials and advertisements.
Yeah.
And marketing. So it's getting there. But I think, the NBA is it's a very progressive league.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely embraces technology.
It does. It does. VR, I think, is going to be a huge part.
Big.
Of not just the NBA, but viewership as a whole. I think
Right.
VR is something the NBA is testing. The NFL, not so much, but it's getting there.
Giving the viewer the opportunity to actually feel like they're a part of it, right? Interactive, much more interactive media.
Yeah.
What were we hearing that one time we were down there at Thusio, right? What they were talking about was actually being able to scan your phone over the player and hearing stats about the player. I mean, even in my mind, even being able to, and this is like AI stuff that I was thinking of in who knows what year, but seeing video clips of the player with stats and all that stuff on your phone, it's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
If they can pull that stuff off.
No, and to piggyback even more off of your point, I think I would say 15 years, I think the entire way that you watch a basketball or football or baseball game is going to be completely different. Going back to what you said about, live stats and things like that, everybody's got one of the most powerful devices ever created in their pocket, right? A smartphone. So what you'll be able to do is hold up your phone, hover it over the player, you'll get live stats. You'll be able to tweet them live, maybe. Again, they may not be able to respond, yes, but it'll be interactive to the point where, because think about it, you go to a baseball game, you're on your phone most of the time. Again, a lot of downtime.
Right.
Basketball, it's a little bit more fast-paced.
Up and down the court.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the day that they can actually put lightweight cameras on the jerseys.
On the players.
Where you can actually have...
Point of view.
Yeah.
I agree.
And POV, and not just for porn.
Seriously, right?
POV for sports.
Yeah, man.
Now you got something that I think people would be interested in, and they'd be able to actually see what it's like dribbling down that court, and I think that'd be crazy.
Yes,
that'd be crazy.
Most definitely, I think to have a bird's eye view of what these guys see on and off the court every day would be pretty impressive in itself.
Yeah,
in its own right.
I believe it. So, well, look, we got a lot of homework. I know that we got players coming in.
Yes.
And so I also got that email that you sent today for that variety breakfast.
Yeah, sports entertainment breakfast.
What was that all about?
So it'll be going on July 14th, but don't quote me on that. I'll have to get the exact details. It's at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Cool.
It's an exclusive invite as well. We were exclusively invited to that.
Good.
Yeah, so
that's impressive.
So Kevin Durant's going to be speaking.
I saw that.
Kevin Demoff, who's the COO of the Rams. The Rams, obviously, speaking of big free agency, the Rams signed a bunch of new guys.
Really?
LA's kind of been the sports hotbed over the last year. The Rams got 4 key players, and the Rams now in Vegas are actually 4th best to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
So there's a lot of exciting things coming out of LA.
Some stuff we got to get working on.
Yeah, man. So I mean, obviously with the development in Inglewood, who knows, even from a real estate perspective, that entire economy is going to boost. I mean, I'm sure you've seen down that way. The future's bright. I think for LA, sports, real estate, and just business.
Well, the other thing that I heard today, going back to NBA, and I don't want to speak exclusively about NBA, but New York, Chicago, and LA have not had a team hit the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a long
in
time.
the last few years, and
been a long
for
time.
those major markets,
Yeah.
that's pretty embarrassing, man.
It is. It is.
It's yeah.
I mean, for the Lakers to be, sorry if there are any Laker fans out there, but to be this bad for the last 4 or 5 years, it's not only been hard to watch, but it's hurt the league, as you were saying. I mean, the league is in a better place when those big market teams are better.
For sure.
The Knicks, the Knicks were in the playoffs a few years, obviously with Carmelo, but more or less, I think the Lakers winning. I think it's the Celtics who have the most titles. It's Lakers or Celtics, one of the two.
And that rivalry is probably
going to be back now, even better. You got to think about the Eastern Conference. There's not now.
Hey, where's Isaiah?
Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah.
He's still on the Lakers.
Still on the roster?
He's still on the roster. I think he was on an expiring deal though. So, who knows if they'll still honor it? They can match an offer sheet from him, or choose to let him go. Granted, the way things went in Cleveland with LeBron, I don't think he's going to stay, which is unfortunate.
What are the odds? They're back to being teammates again.
Yep. But I think
temporarily,
at
least.
And I think what the Lakers are doing, and pardon for us to harp on the NBA, but it's just such an exciting time
in
right
LA
now.
for us right now.
Yeah. So I think the Lakers are putting together a lot of assets to trade eventually for the big fish, which is Kawhi Leonard. So, you put together all these guys who are all on one-year deals. That's the biggest thing. Is that a lot?
Well, it kind of, aside from LeBron, it reminds me a little bit about when they brought Karl Malone.
Oh yeah.
And Glenn Rice over, and these guys all came in pursuit of that ring. And it just didn't pan out.
It just didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah.
But I think that now what they're doing is smart. They're trying to gather as many eggs as they can.
Yeah.
Even if Kawhi doesn't come this year, you have a bunch of guys on expiring deals.
Right.
So that means more cap space, more space for free agents. They're trying to get DeMarcus Cousins. The latest rumblings. Again, guys, this is happening like every hour.
Yeah, everything's changing.
Honestly, there hasn't been a team this active.
Did you order your LeBron jersey yet?
Not yet. I want to, but it's funny.
I'm waiting to see what Nike does with this year's jerseys.
Right.
Hopefully, they've really stepped their game up on like the way the jerseys look.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Reebok dropped the ball. Adidas did okay. I thought those jerseys, and I'm a jersey fiend.
Yeah,
I love buying jerseys.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting to see. I mean, but you can't mess with the Laker. The logo is going to say. I would imagine they're not going to touch the logo, but. What else can they do to the jersey? And I'm not a big fan of the V-neck thing that they do with the Lakers jersey either. So
no, I hear you. Honestly, a lot of the players don't like it either.
Really?
Yeah, it's because they're oddly form-fitting, and it's just, I don't know. They're trying to create some innovation. Honestly, I think for me, from a business standpoint, I think it's just more areas, excuse me, for sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you think about it, they started this year with the jersey patches. It's only a matter of time before they look like a NASCAR driver. So.
But they're limited to only one patch, right?
Yeah.
Just one right now.
That's going to expand, I think. Me personally, again, guys, this is just speculative. It just makes the most sense because they were paid $50 million for that. So why not? Why stop there? Just doesn't.
Well, I can't wait to see what these new jerseys look like.
I'm excited for the NBA. I'm excited for football. I'm excited for baseball. The Dodgers are picking back up.
See that dance Puig did over the weekend?
Oh yeah, man. It was
doing a little. He's from DC, right? Or is he Cuban?
He's Cuban. He's Cuban. He's from Cuba.
Doing a little bit of the Cuban cumbia dance.
Yeah, his story was actually pretty crazy how he got out. He had to escape Cuba, made it here. And I think that's part of the reason why in the beginning he was kind of wild. But as you've seen, it just goes to show how sometimes these guys can mature. You look at him now; he started a foundation. He's really done a good job and become a real solid contributor with the Dodgers. And
for sure.
And I think the Dodgers now are in a good place. They started off rocky, but
he never sold that house either. He bought that second one.
Yeah.
But he still has the original one that he purchased.
Yeah, he still held on to it.
Which reminds me, we should probably reach out to them as well.
Most definitely. There's a reason why. Yeah. It's strange that he's probably kept it, right? So.
Wow, I just figured we'd send them a letter to both addresses.
No, that works for me. See
if we can get a hold of them.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, I appreciate you setting this up.
Of course, man.
This was our inaugural test run just to see how how it sounds, how it works, and you got a chance to hear us have conversations like this. And honestly speaking, just the fact that we're able to do this,
Yeah.
it's good, because I think what it does do is it opens up our dialogue and our conversation. And so for those of you who don't know, one of the things that we do is we relocate pro athletes. And we love sports. We can talk sports all day, but talking sports all day, for us at least, not right now, doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
So what pays the bills is us helping athletes relocate, buy and sell real estate. And so anyway, if you guys have any contacts or if any friends that you think could use our services on a nationwide scale, Jonathan has gotten very, very good at assisting athletes relocate and move their cars and move their personal belongings. And I think what's the furthest we've moved a car even?
We moved it across the country.
Yeah,
we moved it from New York to Seattle.
Yeah, that's the furthest. So, and I think we did a pit bull.
Yeah, we did. We did a pit bull from New Jersey to down in Costa Mesa.
Yeah, so I mean, we help athletes move everything. So if you guys are in the middle of a trade, you've become a free agent, or to any of the listeners that have friends or family that are in that position, we help all athletes of all sports. So keep us in mind. Let us know how we can help you guys out. You can visit our website. It's www.PARLV, LowellandVanderbilt.com. So it's PARLV.com.
Yeah, and also go ahead, give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at PAR_LV. You can get a sense of kind of what we do on a daily basis or a weekly basis. We like to, tweet and produce content about, sports business, whatever it may be. We try to educate ourselves as much as we can, because, in the end of the day, we do even have to educate some of our clients, on what it takes to kind of do what we do. So please, guys, check us out. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you taking the time. 20 minutes.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.